Now here in problem 37, we've got a fraction raised to a negative power. So we're going to make use of the general rule that we looked at in the previous video. And that general rule says that we can do this. We can invert the fraction. So we'll get 343 over 216. But when we do that, we have to change the sign of the exponent. So it'll go from negative to positive. And now what we're looking at here is the cube root, right? The bottom number tells us the root. That's the number that goes in the corner. The cube root of this fraction, 343 over 216, and that all gets raised to the numerator, right? The numerator is the power. Now, as it turns out, the cube root of 343 is 7. 7 times 7 times 7 is 343. And the cube root of 216 is 6. 6 cubed is 216. And this all gets squared. And if we square that, we'll square the 7, we'll square the 6. So we end up here with 49 over 36. So what we're saying now is that this expression here simplifies to this one. Now in number 39, we're supposed to rewrite 7 to the 1/2 with a radical. So we know that the bottom number tells us the root. So this is just going to be the second root of 7. Now the top number tells us the power, so this is all just to the first. And I don't really need to write that 2, because if it's a 2, we just assume it. So we're going to write this now as just the square root of 7. And in number 41 here, we've got 4 raised to the 7 over 9. So I've got a number to a fractional power. The denominator becomes the root, so we're going to write this as the 9th root of 4, and the top number becomes the power. Now, we've said this before, and I think this is the better way to do this. This is going to be, I'm going to take this 7 and write it on the outside. This will be the 9th root of 4 all to the 7th. That's the way I think that it's best to write this, but you could also write it like this. The 9th root of 4, that 7 can go outside or it can go inside. So we could write this. Either one of those will work, but as far as computing goes, this is probably better. In 47, we've got this quantity here. Now remember, any quantity in parentheses is considered one thing. So we've got one thing raised to the 4/5. The bottom number becomes the root, so this is going to be the 5th root of this thing right here, that quantity, that binomial. So we'll get 2y plus x. And now what we could do is we could write this 4 on the outside, right? The numerator that will become the power. But in this case, since we have letters, I think I'm more inclined to write this like this. This will be the 5th root of, and I'll need parentheses if I put it inside, 2y plus x to the 4th. And because I'm putting it inside, I need parentheses to capture it out, right? All of this is to the 4th power. I think that's probably the better way to write this one.